Hey everyone, welcome back to the Mass Retirees Weekly Update. Today's Friday, September 22nd. I'm Sean Duhamel. Thank you so much for joining with us and tuning in again this week. Now, today is an important day for Mass Retirees. This morning at 11 a.m. starts our annual meeting, which takes place this year down in Mansfield. We have had to change the location due to both the Lombardo's and Lantana. I drew a blank there for a second, and Randolph closing and no longer hosting events. So we have relocated down to the Envision Hotel and Conference Center in Mansfield, Mass. It's very easy to find right off of Route 95. The address is contained in today's email message. It's in the newsletter on page 3. It's also contained on massretirees.com under the events section. So you can find the address there. We're hoping for a great turnout this year. This will be our second annual meeting since the end of the COVID-19 pandemic. As you recall, we took a break from meetings for both 2020 and 2021 out of an abundance of caution. So we're hoping to see, now that we're kicking off our 2023-2024 meeting schedule, we're hoping to see an uptick in turnout of members. In addition to today's annual meeting, we're also going to host an additional 5 area meetings throughout the next 3 months spread across Massachusetts. And those meeting dates and locations and the information regarding of the locations is contained on page 3 of the newsletter. And then in our November newsletter and again in January, we will be posting the dates of the meetings taking place this December out in Auburn, and as well as our meetings taking place early in 2024, including an advance notice for our Florida meetings, which at this point in time we're planning to hold on the east coast of Florida the first week of February. We want to give the opportunity for those of you who are snowbirds, who might be going down to Florida early in 2024. We want to give a chance for everyone to get down there before we hold the meeting. We don't want to miss anyone. We want to make the most of our time, and we're only there for a couple of days. We want to make sure that we're seeing as many members as we can, so that's why we've pushed back that meeting date just a little bit. In addition to the annual meeting, we will also be holding a week from today on the 29th a virtual Tele-Town Hall meeting. Our Tele-Town Hall meetings begin at 1 p.m. in the afternoon. There are 2 different ways that you can join the Tele-Town Hall meetings. One is simply by answering the phone when the automated message comes from me at the time of the meeting. And as long as we have a phone number on record for you, whether it's your landline or your cell phone, you will get an automated call at the time of the meeting. The other way that you can join the meeting, if you don't get the phone call or you happen to be out of the house or something, you can dial the toll-free Tele-Town Hall number that's printed on the back of your Mass Retirees membership card. So these meetings are open to Mass Retirees members only. That's why we're not giving out the phone number in this message or posting it online or even sending it out in the weekly email blast, because we knew that some members were sharing that information with non-members, which is really unfair to those of you who are choosing to be a member of Mass Retirees. These meetings are one of the benefits that you receive as being a Mass Retirees member. That way we want to make sure that only members are attending our in-person area meetings or participating virtually as part of our Tele-Town Halls. Now this week, today at our annual meeting, we have 2 special guests. State Senator Paul Feeney, who represents Mansfield and Foxborough and the surrounding area, is a guest speaker. Senator Feeney is a key ally and long-term friend of our association. He is the lead sponsor on several Mass Retirees bills that are now pending before the legislature. He has been a tremendous advocate in terms of retiree health care in particular, the COLA, the list goes on and on. So we are delighted that he was able to make some time today to be a guest speaker. In addition to Senator Feeney, we will also be joined by David Morales. David is the general manager of the Unicare Health Plan, which really needs no introduction to anyone. The vast majority of our members who participate in the State Group Insurance Commission plans are insured under one of the Unicare plans. We are so fortunate that David is taking the time to personally attend the meeting, to offer some remarks, be there to introduce himself. in a formal matter, take some questions from you if time allows. If you do happen to see David making his way around the room, and if you're insured under Unicare, introduce yourself. He would love to speak with you and meet you personally. So we're very delighted to have him attending the meeting. In addition, we will also be joined today by the senior leadership from Sensio Systems. Sensio is the parent company of the IBIS telehealth platform. Hopefully you've seen us talking about IBIS quite a bit over the last few years. You've read the articles in the newsletter. This is a fantastic product that is free of charge to Medicare enrollees. Medicare pays for all of the ins and outs of IBIS, and it's designed to help those of you who are enrolled in Medicare, who live either here in Massachusetts or New Hampshire, Maine, Rhode Island. I think they've just expanded into Pennsylvania. We'll be reporting on some of that in the upcoming newsletter. But the IBIS platform is really designed to help those of you who are suffering from certain chronic illnesses to better manage that illness. And the whole concept behind this is that by helping you to better manage the illness, you're going to have a better quality of life, a healthier quality of life, hopefully a little bit happier. And then because of all of those things, over time, organically, it serves to lower healthcare costs. So it's a win-win across the board. We've had tremendously positive feedback from members who are utilizing IBIS, and we're very happy that they will continue to take part in our meetings, whether it's the annual meeting today or our other area meetings across Massachusetts, to provide you with the opportunity to see what IBIS is all about, hold the tablet in your hands, be able to ask questions and decide whether or not this is a good fit for you or not. So if you're in and around the Mansfield area, come by the meeting. If you can't make it today, again, we're going to hold an additional 5 meetings across Massachusetts through the end of the year, and then back to our regular meeting schedule for 2024. Next week at the Tele-Town Hall meeting, which again takes place at 1 p.m., our guest speaker for next week's Tele-Town Hall is the Executive Director and Chief Investment Officer from the Pritt Fund, Michael Trotsky. Michael joined us a couple of years ago for a Tele-Town Hall. It was very well attended. We got a lot of really positive feedback. Members had some really good questions. So we are thrilled that Michael is able to join us again next week to update all of you in terms of what's happening at Prim, give a little bit of some insight into what their expectations are over the next 6 months to a year in terms of the economy and what we can anticipate there. But Pritt plays a very, very vital role behind the scenes in terms of the management of your pension funds and things like the cost of living adjustment and all of the work that's now ongoing to increase the COLA base for state and teacher retirees. A lot of the success of those proposals is directly tied to the success of the Pritt Fund and the work that Michael and his team at Pritt do day in and day out. And they've done a tremendous job throughout the past 10, 12 years that Michael has led the Pritt Fund. And again, we're very happy that he has taken the time next week to join us. So in that regard, if you have specific questions or comments or concerns that you would like Michael to address next week, let us know. We want to make sure that we're talking about the types of things that you want to learn about, that you want to hear about. You will also have the opportunity on next week's Tele-Town Hall call to ask Michael questions directly. But if you have something you would like to send in advance that we can either ask or let Michael know that our members have a specific interest in one subject area, because he could spend hours talking about this stuff, and we don't have that kind of time. So we really want to narrow it down to the specific things that you want to hear about. Now, in addition to forwarding us some questions from Michael, I'd like you to also give some thought to questions that you might like me to address on future episodes of our weekly update. Next week, I'm planning on if we can get some questions coming in, I'd like to do what's known as an Ask Me Anything episode. That would be questions coming in from our members. It doesn't necessarily need to be something brand new. However, if there is a topic that we really haven't covered or we haven't covered in a while that you're wondering about, or if there's something that you maybe don't understand that you've seen in the newsletter and you'd like some clarification on, ask me anything. My only requirement is that it has to be directly related to public retirement. As much as I'd like to spend some time talking about the Patriots or the Red Sox or the weather or Formula One, those of you who know me know I'm a huge Formula One fan. I don't think any of you would want to hear me do a deep dive into F1 and in this type of an event. That's not what we're here for. So if it's related to your retirement, whether it's the pension or your health insurance or the Social Security weapon GPO or any of that stuff, send in a question. I want to spend some time making sure that we're talking about the kind of things that you want to talk about, that you want to learn more about, and that we're using this time wisely. So again, if you haven't been to one of our area meetings, if you have the time, if you're in the area, if you have the ability to get to the meeting, come on by, whether it's this morning in Mansfield or one of the upcoming meetings. It is one of my favorite parts of this job, is to see you face to face, get to know each other a little bit, put a face with a name. It really goes a long way towards just the enjoyment that all of us here at Mass Retirees, whether it's our president, Frank Valeri, or myself, or any member of our team, we really enjoy seeing you face to face and being able to interact with you on a personal level like that. Our meetings are always open to all Mass Retirees members. You're welcome to bring a guest. We serve refreshments prior to the meeting. And at the close of the meeting, for those of you who are in attendance when the meeting wraps up, we always draw names out of a fishbowl for some cash door prizes, but you have to be present at the end of the meeting in order to win. That's our only requirement, and that's something that has been a tradition of Mass Retirees for longer than the 30 years I've been here now. So hopefully we'll get to see you at some point in the future. If not, you can always participate in the Tele-Town halls. But we try to go through as many different means of trying to communicate with you and get you the information that you need as we possibly can. So in closing, I know that Yom Kippur is coming up. I want to wish our members who are observing Yom Kippur a good Yuntif. I hope I pronounced that right. I apologize if I didn't. But again, I hope to see you all soon. I hope you're all doing well. And let us know if you have any questions either from Michael Trotsky or that you would like me to answer in a future episode. Be well, everybody. Thank you.